Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Your old buddy Tim Knox with the Leading Edge Real Estate Group back. And in the video today, we're going to talk about a new report that was just released from the National Association of Realtors, and it is entitled 8 Real Estate Trends Influencing Your Business Now. Now, this is aimed at real estate agents. So if you are a real estate agent, listen up, because we're going to talk about these 8 trends that are affecting your business. But this also applies to buyers and sellers. So if you are in the market to buy a home or you are in the market to sell a home, these 8 trends are impacting the market that you are attempting to go into. So I think it's very important information across the board, hence the video. So, hey, do me a favor. If you like what we do here on the channel, click that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, click the little bell icon. That way you never miss another video. And don't forget, we've got Leading Edge Real Estate Group here in North Alabama. We are literally all over North Alabama, southern Tennessee, all the way down to Birmingham and beyond. We are really spreading like wildfire. And we've got nearly 300 agents now ready to go to work for you. So if you are looking to relocate here, buy or sell, or even looking to invest, we would be more than happy to help you accomplish your goals. So, all right, let's go to my computer. And here is the article. Again, it is coming out of Realtor Magazine, which is a publication of National Association of Realtors. The 8 real estate trends influencing your business and the market right now. And I want to cover each one of these and then talk a little bit about how it pertains to our market here in North Alabama. Primarily, we are Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, Madison, but we also go to Guntersville, Fayetteville, Tuscaloosa, again, down to Birmingham. So we've got buyers and sellers and agents all over the place. So let's talk about how this applies. So this is coming from NAR, and it is an article for at which Lawrence Yun, who is their chief economist, and Jessica Lutz, who is their deputy chief economist, took a look at the market, and this is not just our market, but across the country, and came up with these 8 trends. And I found the first one really interesting. Doom and gloom headlines are overblown. Guys, I've been saying that here all along. You know, you've seen the news. There's all this doom and gloom. The housing market is going to crash. Property values are going to plummet. Buyers can't afford to buy homes. All of that is proving to be not true. If we look at the article, while the housing market is correcting after pandemic-fueled highs, and remember, during the pandemic, the market did this, and now we are coming down back to what I call the new rational. But with existing home sales plunging 19% year over year, but that doesn't mean a long-term rut is forming. I keep hearing people say they're waiting for prices to drop, Lutz says, but if you look at the data, that's just not happening now. You may see some home price differences in just one state and then see some big headlines, but again, the sky is not falling. In fact, there are more than 3 offers for every listing on average, according to NAR, and about a third of homes on the market nationwide are selling above list price. Although distressed sales, foreclosures, and short sales have seen a modest uptick, they remain at historical lows and likely won't grow much more. Homeowners have lots of equity, so even if they do face a life event, they will likely still have enough equity to cover their mortgage. Let's talk about our market here. I talk about this a lot. We have seen no drop out of the bottom of prices. Prices are adjusting back down again to reasonable levels, but we are not seeing the prices just plunge through the floor. Our inventory is still incredibly low. We've got about a month and a half's inventory in our MLS, meaning that if nothing else goes in the MLS within a month and a half, just about everything will be sold. So that means, and I keep saying this, we are still very much in a seller's market. But we have seen prices adjust. We have seen them come down. I think more attributing that to interest rates than anything. But we have seen them come down. They haven't bottomed out. There's still great value here. Property values are still going up. Still high demand, low inventory. And I do not see that changing anytime soon. Reason number 2, Americans are moving longer distances. And I thought this was kind of interesting. From 1981 to 2021, the average home buyer moved just 10 to 15 miles away from their previous residence. But over the last year, the average buyer moved a median of 50 miles. A quarter more than 470 miles. NAR data shows buyers are moving for a variety of reasons, including retirement, proximity to family, housing affordability, and the ability to work remotely. That has had a huge impact on the real estate market, is the fact that most people, or a lot of people, have the option of working from home. And so proximity to work is no longer a big deal. Real estate websites are increasingly important to relocation buyers. People who move longer distances still use a real estate agent. Yes, they do. But they're increasingly finding their agents online, not by going to friends and family for a referral. Also, these long-haul movers are more likely to use technology such as virtual tours. I got to tell you, I can attest to this one 1,000%. We are a hotbed of relocation here because of our economy, our home values, everything that's pertinent to buyers. And we are seeing so many folks moving into this market. And a lot of the folks that we deal with moving into the market are coming through this YouTube channel, coming through Facebook, coming through LinkedIn. So we are seeing people use technology more, use the internet more, and moving longer distances than before. And so I thought that was really interesting, and honestly, our business over the last year has proved that out 100%. Number 3, cash buyers remain formidable competitors. 26% of the marketplace consists of cash buyers, which is substantially higher than before the pandemic. These buyers are mostly investors and property owners who have built equity and can pay for a second home in cash. They're proving to be steep competition for first-time home buyers who seem to have smaller down payments. Again, over the last year, 2 years, we have seen so many people relocating here to North Alabama, not just investors. We've seen a lot of investors, but we are seeing folks moving here to go to work, to go to school, to start businesses, to be near loved ones. So we have done a huge relocation business over the last couple of years, and a lot of those buyers have been cash buyers. Imagine this. You are, here's a good example. I had an agent or a client who moved here with the FBI. They sold a small, like 1,500 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in DC and came here with $1 million plus in cash. Oh, here for $1 million plus, you can buy a mansion. And that's what he did. He bought a $500,000 house and several rental houses and still had money left over to party. So cash buyers are still prevalent here. I don't think they're as much as they were before. The downside of that is if you're not a cash buyer, if you're a traditional buyer, you've got to put down 3% and get a mortgage. You are at the back of the line when it comes to buyers because cash is king. We're not seeing as much of it as we did a year ago, but it is still here. Generational dynamics are at play. The median age of a first-time home buyer is 36, reflecting a cultural shift toward entering homeownership later in life than did past generations. A lack of affordable inventory is pressing on young adults' ability to buy. FHA and VA loans, which help underserved buyers, have lower down payment options and may be the key to bringing more young adults into home ownership. Baby boomers have usurped millennials as the strongest home buying force in America, with the elderly. I'm a baby boomer. Am I elderly? I should be offended. With the elderly group comprising 39% of the market compared to 28% for young adults. Millennials have been priced out and are often losing out to cash buyers. Baby boomers, many of whom have accumulated housing wealth over decades, appear motivated to move so they can live closer to family. They buy their forever home and have a smart home and even live with roommates. I'm not living with any roommates. My wife lets me live in the house with the dogs. But we are seeing that shift. You have to think about it this way. First-time home buyers, 36, that's typically someone who's probably been married for a little while and getting established in their job, and they can finally afford to make the leap to home ownership because, it's not it's not cheap to buy a house. And we're seeing younger folks no longer are in such a hurry to leave home. That's another trend that's not talked about here, but we've talked about on a previous video. Younger people are staying at home longer. They are going to college, coming back, living with mom and dad, saving up money for that down payment so they can buy a home. So that is another trend that we're seeing as well. Number 5, new construction is a bright spot in the market. It certainly is in this market. While existing home inventory is at historical lows, the new home market is offering more options to buyers. New home sales typically make up 10% of the market, but they're currently running at 20%. New home sales rise 12.3% in 2023, and they're expected to rise 13.9% last year. We are seeing a lot of new construction here. I mentioned that we are at a all-time or a 20-year low in inventory. Not a lot of homes for sale here. So the builders understand that dynamic, and they are kicking in. Meaning that we have construction going on all over North Alabama. Lots of new neighborhoods going up, everywhere from, on the lower end, $250,000 up to $1 million homes being built here now by builders. And that's the thing. If there is not enough existing inventory, you got to have those builders kicking in, and we are certainly seeing it here. Number 6, home prices likely won't fall any further. I'm going to say that one again because it's a big deal. Home prices are not going to come down much more, if at all, over where they are now. Home prices are down 1% compared to a year ago. There are geographic variations with like San Francisco dropping 15%, but not here. Again, our home prices came back down. We adjusted a little bit to get back to sane levels, but they're not going to come down any further. I talk to people all the time, well, I'm going to wait for prices to come down. You're going to have a long wait, my friend, because this market, North Alabama, Southern Tennessee, you are not going to see a lowering of prices much more than where they are right now. So if you're waiting on the price to drop, you got a long wait ahead of you. Number 7, mortgage rates are likely to decline somewhat. This is an important point. Yoon says he's hopeful that mortgage rates will soon cool from their near 7% averages, which has increasingly pressed on home buyers' budgets. I say it in every video. One of the reasons the market has slowed down, interest rates. Fitch Ratings on Tuesday downgraded the U.S. debt rating, which could bump up costs. Yoon said the Federal Reserve's next decision on short-term interest rates will influence the direction of long-term borrowing costs. If the Fed stops raising its short-term mortgage rate and if inflation continues to edge down, which it's doing, 30-year fixed mortgage could fall near 6% by the end of the year. And let me say this, guys, a 6% mortgage is a great mortgage. It really is. We got so used to 3% and 2.5%. Now that they're going back to 6 or 7, we feel like it's the end of the world. But honestly, those are very fair rates. When you look at interest rates historically, and I keep saying this, I got my first house in 1988. I think my interest rate was a 14% ARM. That was a hell of an interest rate. 7%, not too bad. And finally, number 8, inventory is housing's most pressing problem, 100%. Home buying demand is high while housing inventory is at historic lows. 76% of homes sold in June were on the market for less than a month, according to NAR data. The association has been calling on lawmakers to do more to help supply meet demand. NAR supports tax incentive proposals for those who sell a residential property being used as a rental to an occupied buyer, meaning that if you are a landlord and you've got a rental property, NAR is lobbying to give you or to get you tax incentives to sell that home. Let's talk a little bit about that. There is kind of a war coming between landlords who own rental properties and Airbnbs and some municipalities. Here in Huntsville, we are experiencing a crackdown of Airbnb homes because they are outside the zone. Huntsville has a Airbnb zone. It's in I guess they call it the hospitality zone where the hotels are. Not a great part of town to do flips and remodels and renovations. So a lot of investors have properties outside of this zone that have been Airbnbs. Well, not anymore. The city of Huntsville is cracking down. I think they identified, it's either 57 Airbnbs or 57 owners. I believe it's 57 Airbnbs. And the owners of those, one of them was one of my best friends and clients, got a cease and desist recently. That if there is an Airbnb outside of the zone, it either has to be, number one, taken off of Airbnb, it needs to be turned into a longer term rental, I believe 6 months or greater, or they need to do something else with it. So we're seeing a lot of Airbnb owners scrambling now to either turn those Airbnbs into longer term rentals or just putting them back on the market. So inventory is a problem. And the thing that kind of confounds me about the Airbnbs is they're great temporary lodging for folks who are moving here trying to buy a house, or moving here and building a home, or moving here and their company provides the Airbnb. So it's a big argument both ways. We're also seeing not just here but nationally backlash against these neighborhoods that are being developed just as rental properties. I don't understand the backlash. We're giving folks places to live in a booming economy that is Huntsville, Alabama. But anyway, guys, those are the 8 trends that are affecting your business if you are a real estate agent, and affecting the market if you're a buyer and seller. Doom and gloom headlines, overblown. Americans are moving longer distances. Cash buyers, still king. Generational dynamics are at play. People are buying later in life. New construction is the bright spot. Can't argue with that. Home prices likely won't fall much further. And mortgage rates may decline somewhat, but not a lot. And finally, inventory. Lack of inventory is our number one issue right now in real estate. So there you go, guys. I hope that was helpful. Hey, if I can do anything for you when it comes to real estate, whether you are relocating here, you need a place to live, or you are looking at listing your home to sell so you can move elsewhere, or if you're looking to invest here, just give me a call. My number is below. We've got Leading Edge Real Estate Group here now, almost 300 agents ready to go to work for you, and I will connect you with one of the best in the business who will help you get the job done. So, all right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I hope you found that helpful, and I will see you on the next video.